to the rods, to the anglers, to the lures on the end of your hook. Let's talk about those big bass here on Co-Anglers Corner with your hosts, Rob Welch and John Stoudinger.
Good evening, everyone. I'm John.
How y'all are? Cajun Rob here. Got a couple of great young ladies, definitely on the move, and they make it happen for sure.
Yes, as you all know, Mondays are dedicated to women in fishing, which we're proud to say that we're probably the only podcast that has a show dedicated for women in fishing. It's the two guests we have on are Angie Copas and Tricia McGraw. And they started a brand a couple years ago called Fish Her. And what Fish Her is actually the brand that is going to be providing baits, equipment, apparel, specifically for the women, but they did not exclude the men. There are men's articles of clothing on there, and I think we're going to order Rob one of the bathing suits that I think he'd look cute in. So
yeah, that's not like a losing a bet kind of deal.
All right, so let's bring on Angie and Tricia. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. Hey, ladies.
Hi, guys. Ladies.
He's from the South. He's respectful.
Yeah.
How we doing tonight, fellas?
Outstanding. I hope you had a good weekend. I know y'all got on the water a little bit over the weekend.
We did. It was tough fishing, but we had fun.
That's the main thing.
We had Pinky out of the garage, so it was a good weekend.
Absolutely.
All right. So if you don't mind, you told us before we started how the two of you met, which is kind of incredible considering the proximity you guys live to each other.
Yeah, Angie and I met at Lake Gunnersville 3 years ago. She was fishing as a non-boater in the Toyota series. My husband was fishing as a boater. I had thought about jumping in as a non-boater, but it was 13 degrees the morning that they launched, and I thought, there's no way I'm staying in the camper. But I had to go to the weigh-in to figure out who the lady was that was crazy enough to jump in and fish when it was 13 degrees outside. So I met Angie and we got to talking, and come to find out she is from Ohio as well. She lives in Lucasville. I'm in Chillicothe, so we're about 35 miles from each other, and met down at Gunnersville in Alabama.
Nice. So Angie, did you know Tricia before or heard of her or anything like that?
I had seen pictures from her and her husband Tom where they fish at Rocky Fork a lot. So I'd seen a lot from Team McGraw on Facebook. So I knew who they were, but I'd not ever met them. So I kind of was familiar. I recognized her when I seen her come walking across the gravel that morning, and kind of was like, hey, and here I am all bundled up in my Carhartt bibs and my Carhartt jacket. And I look like, the abominable snowman all, bundled up, ready to go. Cause it's, 28 degrees outside. And it's snowing and sleeting the night before, so it was awesome. It was nice to meet her, and it's led into a really great friendship.
That's awesome. That was meant to be right there.
Yeah. We actually went down and fished the ICAST tournament that year, and
okay, awesome.
We fished the ladies tournament down in Florida. Shortly, it was just a few months after we had met that year, but. Yeah, like I said, we became friends, and we've been friends for the last 3 years. Great friends. I mean, we talk every day. And usually she's my voice of reason. I come up with some off-the-wall ideas, and she's like, well,
She keeps you grounded. She
tries to keep me grounded.
I'm a no nonsense negotiator.
Yeah, she's the nonsense negotiator.
Gotcha.
Is her official title.
Oh, I don't know if we should title each other, Rob, but
no. Let's don't do that.
Yeah, we'll get ourselves in too much trouble.
Yep.
Hey, Rob, I can get that bikini thing taken care of, though, buddy.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah.
I have lost weight, so none of my clothes are fitting. So I'll take you up on that.
We need to hook you up. At the very minimum, we do need to get you in a fishing jersey.
Absolutely.
And the one for John for him to wear to work that we discussed earlier.
Oh, cool. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm sure my boss would love it.
Angie, you had stepped away, but John works at basically a farm and works with hose. So I said, oh, well, we need to do a boats and hose shirt.
Yes.
To go along with our weekend hooker line.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And knowing John, he also needs on the back, instead of his name, he needs trophy husband across the back.
We'll have to get written consent from the wife for that one.
Okay. I agree with that.
Probably
Didn't she-
the safest.
My wife is kind of like us. She likes to have fun, so I don't think there would be any issue with that.
Awesome.
She just shake her head.
Yeah. And most people say, how do you put up with him? Plenty of coffee. So you two met at a fishing tournament, which Tricia, I'm kind of shocked you being from Ohio weren't used to or didn't want to fish in that 19-degree weather. But who was the brain person behind the idea of the Fisher concept?
Well, we had went last year. We had went to the Columbus Fishing Expo again. I go almost annually, and about a third of the crowd is wives or daughters of the anglers there. And we'd went again, and there was still nothing for lady anglers. And we'd always approach the vendors about, hey, why aren't you doing things for female anglers? Well, we always got the same feedback. They're a small portion of the field. Well, even if they're a small portion of the field, there's ladies that love to fish. Even if they don't tournament fish, they love to be on the water. They go pre-fish with their husbands. They take the kids out to the pond with a rod and reel. They still fish as well. So we had went to the expo again last year, and were extremely disappointed because there was just nothing for women. And we went and had lunch afterwards, and I told Angie, I said, this is what we're going to do. And she's like, okay. And I'm like, no, seriously, we're doing this. And she's like, okay, Trish. So she came up with our original logo design. I'd asked her because she's better at graphics than I am. I'm not techno savvy. So Angie did our original logo design for the brand, and we launched Fish Her basically that day. Now, our first vendor outing was Memorial Day weekend of last year up at Port Clinton at the Walleye Festival.
Yep.
And we had started with a bunch of like vinyl prints, just funny things that, some of the campground ladies liked, as well as, our Fish Her print in vinyl. And we had a limited selection of jerseys. But at that time, I wasn't really happy with my manufacturer or my production team because the material was thick to me, and it wasn't super comfortable. So we went through a few different production teams and finally found the right one. And we offer probably in the neighborhood of 200 different designs now.
Wow.
For women, men, and children's. We do a lot with first responders because I'm retired from the Department of Corrections. I also spent the last 6 years working in my local emergency department, and Angie works in her local hospital. So with everybody finally making it through the COVID pandemic and things, and I know it was rough on us here locally in the emergency department. Angie, lost several of her patients and things as well down there. So we wanted to recognize not just lady anglers, but then we brought in things for first responders as well, because, they're the forgotten heroes of our community. Yep. And, through COVID, people remembered that, hey, we rely on our first responders. But then after, that kind of dwindled a little bit. So like I said, a lot of what we do is women's. We do first responders. We do, we're in 4 retail locations right now.
Wow.
We also do jerseys for about 12 small bait companies to help them push their brand. So it's been a very interesting, very busy year for us.
Definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, we had our first anniversary, February 12th. We just celebrated a year.
Yes.
So,
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Y'all have got a lot done in a year. Hats off to you.
It's been a lot of work, and I couldn't do it without Angie. I did leave my job in the emergency department back in September.
Yeah.
To use the funds that I'd built into my retirement there to try to push the business further. And like I said, I'm retired from the Department of Corrections as well. So anyway, back in September, so I freed up that funding, and then just started working more on pushing the brand. And it's been an amazing start to this year. Just a couple weeks ago, we just delivered to our fourth retailer we got on board, and it was an order of 418 jerseys.
Wow.
And that was up at Fisherman Central in Port Clinton.
Yep.
We're also providing for Ohio River Outdoors in West Virginia, Rebel River Outfitters in Kentucky, and then Bayview here at Rocky Fork Lake. So we're trying to keep our retailers somewhat separated, just so they're not competing with somebody else locally.
Sure.
But the brand went great. And, the funny thing is when we set up at the Walleye Fest last year, we were dead set, this is about lady anglers, we're going to do something for women just because there was nothing out there. And then we had these guys coming in and saying, hey, what about us? And I'm like, really? Would you wear something with a lady angler on it? And they're like, well, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, then we changed the logo. We took the lady angler off for the gentleman. So just with the bass on most of our jerseys. But there's like when we were at the Walleye Fest this year, we sold to as many men as we did ladies. They love the jerseys, the design, the material. It's like I said, it's been really rewarding. It's been a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, it's funny you say paramedic. I want to get a shirt for you guys because my neighbor, she's like always, she's never home. So I have to kind of watch her house, take care of it. And but she's not on the EMT on the ambulance. She teaches at college. So she's like never home. So I'm about to check that out and get her a shirt just for a surprise.
We do EMT. We do first responders. We've got the first responder flag that's got all of your first responders on it. We do emergency department specific shirts. We do law enforcement. We do a little bit of everything. We do veterans, firefighters. There's several things that, like I said, that we've brought into the line because, we want to recognize those people who are
absolutely
integral part to our communities. And, just because we're somewhat past the pandemic, they're not forgotten heroes. So, and a lot of people like to, support, especially if their sons or daughters are law enforcement or veterans, they like to wear apparel in support of their family.
Absolutely. Okay, but now what's been your best seller this year so far since about January? What do you think your top seller's been?
Without a doubt, our autism awareness jersey.
Awesome.
My 23-year-old is autistic, and she did our original design for that jersey.
Oh, that's cool.
We had also we had donated one of those to John Cruz for his auction for autism awareness this year as well.
Yep.
It's several of our retailers have picked up that jersey, but the original design came from my 23-year-old daughter who's autistic.
Congratulations.
That's a great story. That's great, man. I can't beat that.
I just picked up a pair of sneakers that were for autism awareness. And
I'll tell you what, when you're a parent raising a special needs child, you feel like you're alone. But last year when we were at the Walleye Fest, at that time, Bob Prizzi paints a lot of my baits for me. And he had done us because before he started doing any of my baits, we had a face-to-face and talked about, just my history. And he wanted to know about my family and my children. And I'd told him about Cass, and Cassie's my middle of 3 daughters. And so when he started painting baits and keychains and stuff for me, he did some autism awareness keychains. And then last year when we were at the Walleye Fest, we met all of these children who had been, diagnosed as autistic, and their parents, they were quick to scoop up, these keychains and things. And it was just it was somewhat amazing because, like I said, when you're the parent of a special needs child, you just kind of feel like alone. And but there's a lot out there. So then we met a little fella at the campground last year who was autistic, and he was just the cutest fella. And what was he, Angie? 13 maybe?
Yeah, I think 13.
And he got a pair of pink goggles off of us, mirrored goggles, and had old muck boots. And we ended up doing a challenge accepted vinyl shirt for him, because it was before we had brought the autism awareness jersey into our lineup. So we did a challenge accepted with a puzzle piece and a bass on it, because he loves to fish. And we had so much fun with him. And like I said, it was just
so proud of those goggles and that shirt.
Yeah. Yes, but like I said, that's part of what's been so great about the brand. And like with all of our retailers, we've so far taken our apparel into stores that are close. They're within a driving distance for us. And I like that personal touch to it. I actually like going and meeting with my retailers, talking to them, finding out their history of how they got started, and sharing ours if they want to hear it. But it's been a great year and a half, and I think it's just going to get that much better.
Absolutely.
And running into our customers out in public at Rocky Fork, last weekend, there was a lady come up to me and asked me about our jersey. And she was like, I seen those in one of the bait stores that we had went to. And it was Ohio River Outdoors in West Virginia that she had seen the jerseys. And she was there at Rocky Fork Lake last weekend for a tournament, one of the high school tournaments.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Wow. But I've talked to John about this, but I've noticed on BFLs this year, I've seen a lot more girls and ladies being co-anglers and actually boaters. I've saw a lot more presence.
Yeah, and the thing is I think a lot of ladies don't realize, unless their husbands fish, they don't realize that there's a non-boater field. They don't realize that they don't have to have a boat, that they don't have to have a lot of experience to go fish. And I saw that Bassmaster was launching something, so I went into looking at it to see if they had any tournaments or anything scheduled. Well, it was like instructional seminars. I think there's one coming up at Lake Wheeler. It wasn't anything to do with really fishing tournaments yet. And my hope is that they'll educate women on, how to sign up for tournaments and things of that nature. And we've certainly done that ourselves. When we're out and about talking to ladies, it's like, hey, you don't have to have a boat. No. A lot of households, like my husband and I both have our own boats. He runs a 921 Phoenix. I run a 721. He usually takes mine because it's faster than his. I say it's because it's prettier, because mine's fuchsia. But anyway, if we're not both fishing, he will take my Phoenix out. And we both win as boaters the last 2 years, but we've got so much momentum going with the brand that me and Angie both, she went as a non-boater last year. I went as a boater with the Buckeye division, and I fished a portion of the Michigan division as well. But we decided to step back a little bit from tournament fishing and work on trying to help other ladies get developed into tournament fishing, if that's the route they choose to go. And there's just, like I said, a lot of ladies don't realize that there's a non-boater division. They don't realize that, that even though they're with a stranger, most of those people in the water are friends. I mean, if you got to take a potty break, they're going to let you potty. Yep. There's just a lot of unknowns, I think, with tournaments, and just it's intimidating being in a field of primarily men. Now the LBAA is doing great things in the southern United States for ladies. Two Chicks on a Boat up here in the northern are doing great things with ladies. We actually help sponsor their program. But I would like to see, and we actually spoke to some of the tournament directors with Major League Fishing about doing a women's division. And, that tournament that we fished at ICAST, it drew ladies from all over the country.
Oh, yeah.
If Major League Fishing would do, or even Bassmaster would do one that was, more just centralized, I think they would draw enough women to have a field. I'm not saying do, 10 divisions, like you do with, the standard tournament, but there's just a lot of ladies who are incredible anglers who are intimidated by being in a male field.
Yep.
So I would like to see some of the larger circuits, start doing something to help develop those ladies. Not just educational seminars, because they're going to learn on the water.
Correct.
And a lot of them already know they don't need the educational seminars. They need that time on the water. They need to build confidence that way.
Absolutely. And I noticed, you got all these high school girls in college, a lot of girls going to college and fishing. So, I saw that's making a difference. So I think that's helping the sport as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
it definitely is. But like the LBAA, I would love to fish the LBAA, but to go there and win, even to drive to Louisiana and win a tournament, you're winning a tournament. It's for hardware. It's for bragging rights, because with the cost of travel from Ohio to Louisiana, if you're fishing a 30 boat field, you're still in the hole if you win the tournament and big bass. And like I said, I'm not saying that to be negative, because they do great things for ladies in the southern United States. I just, with the cost of the drive and travel, a lot of ladies, up here have trouble justifying the cost, especially if they're still raising kids at home, because we always do for our kids before we do ourselves. So, I'm fortunate enough that all of mine are raised. Angie's son's raised. But when I bought my first boat 3 years ago, it was when my youngest daughter was graduating. And it was for that reason. It was like, okay, I've raised my kids. I've done everything that I can do as mom. Now it's time to do for me a little bit.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So who would you say does more of the design work? Would it be Angie, or idea of coming up with? Angie, what do you think?
Kind of a 50-50. I have probably more of the design. Tricia will call with ideas about 15, 20 times a day, maybe.
She's the nonsense negotiator, guys. So
I have 2 notebooks that I carry with me at any given time, because Trish will text or call and she'll be like, hey, what do you think about this? And it's grab a notebook, write it down before I forget about it,
Oh, yeah.
Figure up a logo to go with it or whatever, and then send her, what do you think about this? And so, yeah, it's about a 50-50 with us.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good.
So what has been the most fun since starting this brand? Has it been the development of it, or the growth, or just seeing the people's faces when they're getting your products?
The most rewarding thing for me, and I'm sure Angie feels the same way, is we participated in both the Columbus and the Great Lakes Fishing Expos this year. And just seeing the little girls' faces light up when they come up when they see a pink booth, because like I said, that all these years they've went with dad just to tag along because they want to be with dad. And they see the pink booth and realize, oh, there's something for me there. And it was just, it was so cute. Even the dads that didn't have their daughters with them coming over and shopping for their daughters and getting matching jerseys to go along with their daughters' jerseys. It hasn't, like I said, it's grown, it's developed. All of that's been amazing. But the most rewarding thing is, like I said, the look on the little girls' faces when they see that there's something in the industry there for them.
Awesome. Yeah, y'all got to come down to Knoxville show. I think y'all would do outstanding at the Knoxville show, and it gets bigger every year. Usually it's the end of January, but I think y'all would look into that. I think y'all would really, really do well there.
I think I already messaged them to try to get in. The hope is for next year to expand outside of Ohio further. And we want to try to get to Red Crest. The Classic next year, I think, is Fort Worth, Texas. So it's a little far for us. But we definitely want to look into Red Crest. It's in Alabama, which is still, 8.5 or 9 hours from us, but it's, more drivable than 24 hours.
Oh, absolutely.
Since my co-pilot likes to sleep on those long drives. Like I
don't blame her.
We went to Toho 3 years ago, and it was a very long drive.
Oh, yeah. I've done that drive. I know exactly.
I have a suggestion for you.
What's that?
You two have the husbands drive the equipment down and you two fly.
That's
Yeah.
a great idea. You know, I just got him to buy into the concept that we needed a trailer. So we've actually, because you know, Angie and I, neither one of us are getting any younger. So we went and we got an enclosed trailer that's on the way.
Oh, wow.
Because that's, you know, we love setting up the small festivals and the vendor events and things because it's more personal.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Walleye Fest is where we launched. So we're committed to doing it annually now. And like I said, we are in the store up there at Port Clinton. They're our largest retailer right now. But it's a lot of work. And Angie and Gina helped me this year. Gina Sexton, she's one of my friends from MacArthur. Her and her husband fish a little bit. She doesn't tournament fish, but she will go out on the boat occasionally. But Sunday night of the festival, we literally had to hold the tent for 3 hours to keep it from blowing away.
Oh, man.
So we got 50 mile per hour gusts up there. And I told my husband, I said, that's it. You know, I'm not doing this anymore without, you know, a trailer. I've got to have a trailer. So we do have an enclosed trailer coming. It's already ordered. It should be out of production soon. So I'm hoping that will open it up to give us the ability to travel even more, to travel maybe to some of the tournament sites and set up and some other things. So like I said, we got some ideas. We're just waiting on the trailer to get done.
There you go.
Well, y'all rolling. Y'all rolling.
I don't know about that. We'll be rolling down the road in the trailer. We'll see.
There you go.
So one's going to drive the trailer, the other's going to drive the boat.
Yeah, that's probably going to have to happen because if I'm traveling to a new lake, I definitely want to get on the water for at least a day while I'm there.
Or
Absolutely.
you can get a double decker.
What's that?
You can get a double decker.
Oh yeah. I don't know, buddy. I don't think my driving's that good.
There was a gentleman up here who had a double decker, and he had a boat inside the enclosed trailer.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the Hibdons had that one time. I remember the Hibdons had a double stack trailer. I remember that.
I mean, I guess we could have went with a wider and longer trailer, Angie, and just pulled the boat in there with our stuff.
Yeah.
See, you just gave me an idea, John.
Well, we could put it on the back. We could put it on the back of the trailer.
There you go.
I'm gonna have to get Angie's contact information, and I'll just shoot her ideas, and she'll have a notebook for John as well.
She'll have 3 notebooks in. She'll have 3 notebooks.
John, I do it too 20 times a day. You might as well jump on the bandwagon, buddy.
John's nonsense notes.
Oh.
Hey. So I do have a question for you. Now your clothing line geared towards women. Now, would you say that they're built for women as well? Because I know women are built a little bit different than men in different areas.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking that. We do 2 different styles. We do the unisex style, which is more of a loose fit style. And Angie, I'll just go ahead and throw this out there. Sorry, Angie. Angie's somewhat busty, so she goes with the unisex style. So it's, baggier in those areas. Now I wear the women's fit style. The women's fit is a V-cut neckline. We have ponytail holes in the hoods, and we also have thumb holes.
Oh, that's cool.
For the lady anglers, but yeah, I'll show you my ponytail hole if you can see it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So when we designed these tops, they were made specifically for lady anglers. Now, like I said, some of our ladies who are bustier or broader in the shoulders, we recommend that they go ahead and go with a unisex design. But our women's fit are made to fit ladies. They're not a crop top. They're, a standard fishing shirt. They still breathe on you. And that was one of the complaints that I always had when I was looking for stuff, is I didn't want to wear a men's shirt at all. I wanted to wear something that was made for a lady, that wasn't made for somebody who was 5'2" and 100 pounds.
Yep.
I agree. Now, you mentioned, you have the ones for the bustier size women. What about in the hips? Are they straight or flared?
The women's cut is more of I would say more of like an hourglass cut
Okay.
on the shirts.
Yeah.
For, like I said, a standard lady's body. Now we go clear up to size 4X in women's, and on our men's line we go up to size 6X. So that's something that the market doesn't see either. But if you're proportionate, you can definitely go with the ladies' size. If your hips and busts are proportionate, but if you're large busted but thinner through the hips and stuff, then like I said, I do recommend the men's size. Just because they'll give you a looser fit up top.
Yeah.
I don't have that issue like some people, so.
No, the reason I ask is my wife has that issue as well. She has wider hips and she is a little bustier than most 5'10" or 5'4" women that weigh 105 pounds. And that's one of her complaints is when I order something for her, like I order my family, my tournament shirts. Okay. I order them, usually get them a set as well. And that's one of the problems that she has with them is they're basically cut for men, which don't have the flared hips where the women's clothing does.
Right.
Now, my daughter who is 6 doesn't have that issue.
Right. But with the little girls, see, we do a unisex and we do a ladies cut in the children's as well.
Okay.
So the little girls still get the thumb holes and the ponytail holes, stuff that's important to them. And then the boys just has this crew cut neckline. Now we can do the zipper style like Angie has as well, but we've got so many designs. I don't, market them that way. But special requests, we do the zipper designs as well. And I don't know of anybody out there who's done the zipper design with a hood. And I don't know of any of the manufacturers that are doing the ponytails for the ladies, but see, Angie's got on
one of the unisex jerseys.
Yeah, she's got on a unisex. Now,
nice.
with our ladies, I do recommend they size up, just to give you that breathability on the water. So if you're a medium, you want to wear a large. If you usually wear a large, you want to wear an XL. Now, if you're extremely busty, and I'm talking about extremely busty, but you still want to go with the ladies cut, then you may want to size up 2 sizes. But I've exchanged jerseys for ladies, who have bought them at expos, who've messaged me and said, "Hey, Trish, this is a little bit tight. Can you get me a size up?" It's a non-issue. We send them a new one out in the mail and
try them on also at the expos or whatever show we're at. We encourage them to take it, try it on.
We actually took a pop-up tent to the Walleye Fest at the last go-round. We had a little pop-up changing room for the women. But that was something that we had bought because at the expos, we were constantly, because we can look at a lady and say, "Hey, you need this size," but sometimes they're in denial and say, "No, that's not the size I wear." So we would be like, "Hey, well, just go to the restroom, try it on." But like I said, we do encourage that, but with women, I encourage them to size up 1 size on their jersey size. Now the men's fit, if you wear a large in men's, you wear a large in the jersey. The women's, like I said, if you wear a medium in women's, go ahead and go with the large because you're not going to be uncomfortable. It will just give you a little bit more, because the women is more of a fitted style. Well, if you're out in the heat, you don't want something clinging against you anyway. You want it to be able to breathe.
Yeah. Now, do you do custom work as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do. We do. Angie's got on her fishing. Hers was a custom one. It's not one that we have in production.
I like it.
But we've got we've got several team members now that I've got a couple custom jerseys on the way for them. Anna Banks has got one coming. Connor Fierce is a 16-year-old boy from Athens that we sponsor. He's autistic as well. We did a white autism awareness jersey to raise funds for him for his tournament season this year. It's his first year with Major League Fishing as a non-boater, and we did raise the funding to pay for his tournaments for the year.
Awesome.
We've got a couple of other individuals that we've done specialized jerseys for. And like I said, I've got 12 small bait companies now, a lot of them that we've linked up with at vendor events that now we're doing jerseys for their company as well. So we're still putting Fish Her on it somewhere, usually on the cuff. But they're getting to market their brand as well. So it hasn't been about just building Fish Her. It's been about trying to help other, small vendors build, and endorse their companies as part of what we're doing.
Yeah. I know some companies, they'll put their logo, in like right here. When it's like, hey, you're supposed to be looking here at my logo, but as a company, and then the manufacturer will put their logo up here, and it's like, well, that takes away from what we want you to look at.
Yeah, and see, we haven't done that. Like I said, the bait companies that we're doing jerseys and things for, we are putting Fish Her on it, but it's on the cuff of the shirt. So it's in small lettering, like 1/2-inch letter. It's not very big, but I still want people to know that, it is our brand. So if they're getting that shirt from somewhere, they know that they can be in contact with us as well, for, their companies. But I totally agree with you. I don't want to take away from what they're doing or their company or them trying to promote their business by just having my business on point, right. Or, so like I said, I still do want to, recognize that we are doing the jerseys for them. So we do have Fish Her, but it's in small letterings on the cuffs. So
sweet. No, my wife used to be a store manager for a clothing line. Mm-hmm. And so I got to learn a little bit about clothing. And that's where some of my questions come from, some of the things that she would ask her customers, and, I'd pay attention and listen. And I appreciate everything you ladies are doing. I got scolded by a couple friends and a couple people because last year my tournament shirt was blue. And they're like, hey, I can't find you on anything because in all the years previous, it's been pink.
We can get hooked up with the pink one, buddy.
I'm sure. If you notice my eyes are attracted to Angie, it's because I'm trying to figure out that color pattern would work with my logos and my sponsors.
That's a cool pattern.
Yeah, and we can do any amount of sponsored logos on your jersey that you request. Like I said, we've done them for several companies now, and I've also got some other ones on standby that we've already done the designs for. We're just, waiting on them to do their ribbon cutting or, whatever it may be. And we're actually stepping outside of fishing into some other outdoor venues and things.
Cool.
As well. So, like I said, it's something the market definitely needed because people are keeping us extremely busy. But it's been a lot of fun.
That's a good thing. Being busy is good, especially nowadays.
Yes,
absolutely. But yeah, I think y'all definitely got a niche. I mean, there ain't no doubt. Y'all found a niche, and I think you're all at the right place and going the right direction.
Right. Like I said, it's just been so rewarding. It's been so much fun for us, and I hope it continues to be fun. I don't want it to become a job.
Right.
I want to enjoy it.
Because I work a full-time job. I don't need another job.
Yeah. I heard that.
See, I work a couple full-time. I work a couple full-time jobs. One is my regular one, and one is being a trophy husband.
No.
That's
I'm a
the
trophy
difficult
wife, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hey,
we'll both agree with that.
We are definitely trophy wives. Not only do we know how to run a boat, we know how to back a trailer. Mm-hmm. Okay, I was actually up at Collin Park up on the Maumee River a couple weeks ago and went to get my husband off the water. And there was just some elderly people sitting around at picnic tables up there, several of them. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? And they said, oh, we're just watching people launch and get off the water. I said, I think I'm going to stay here and give lessons. And of course, they thought that was funny, but they had done their daily walk and decided they were going to sit at Collin Park just so they could laugh at people launching and, loading their boats back up.
It's funny you say that. We have a group of guys that do that on Memorial Day. And they'll go sit at like Oneida Lake's a big one because there's a lot of pleasure boaters on it. And so they'll go sit and watch people. Sometimes they record them.
Yeah, take a 6-pack with you, buddy, and just watch the boat ramp for the day.
Enjoy the show. Enjoy the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and you had asked about our logo. One other thing I wanted to tell you is with our weigh bags, we're doing something that nobody else in the market is doing with weigh bags. So with them, yeah, we showed you the Ohio River weigh bag. Angie, you got the Ohio River weigh bag? There it is. That's the 14 by 14 inch version of our standard weigh bag. But no, it's actually like a non-boater bag. But, the Ohio River doesn't give up very big fish. So our joke is it's an Ohio River weigh bag. But, the bait companies that we're doing weigh bags for, we are still putting our logo on the back of them just because it's something totally new to the market. They are full sublimation. They're double walled like a cooler. They've got all metal clips on them, nothing plastic to break. They've got the shoulder strap and handles. And a full zipper across the top. And I don't know if you guys know anything about zippers, but they're YKK zippers, which is like what North Face and some of your, higher outerwear.
Top notch.
Yes. So if you drop them, they don't spill. They've also got lips on the top to where the bass, like the zipper doesn't run end to end. There's about 1.5 inch lip on each side. So it helps keep your bass secured in the bag too, to keep them from jumping. And Angie's showing you there how it's got the lip on the top. But
okay, got you.
Like I said, that's our mini version. We actually do a 24 by 25 inch version as well. And, we've done several special requests on those, adding names to them, doing different design requests. But any of our jersey designs, we can actually do in the weigh bag designs too.
Okay.
Cool.
So the one that Angie has is your Ohio River one.
That's
the
correct.
Standard one is the Lake Erie version.
Yes, that's right.
Makes sense.
You know what? We can call that one that Angie has the Cajun Rob version.
That's true.
Well,
that way you can put his bathing suit in it.
Hey, that's true.
Now I do have small bags coming, like swimsuit wet bags coming. So Rob, there you go, babe. That's already in the works. Actually, we've got a smaller, a 12 by 6 bag, I think. Coming to put wet gear in.
Okay. Yeah.
If your jersey gets soaked and you throw on a sweatshirt or something because you're cold, then you can throw your jersey in it so it doesn't mildew in the boat. But a lot of people have been buying them already, pre-ordering them to put their cigarettes and wallets and keys in the boat because they're waterproof as well. So they will sink unless you put something on them to keep them floating. But if you drop them in the water, they're not going to take on water to where your stuff's going to get wet. Or if you open your compartment, and you got your smokes in there and your lighter, if you keep them in the bag, you can still light your smokes if you want. If you open the compartment and it's raining out or it's nasty out, and I used to be a smoker. If it's raining or nasty out, your cigarettes will get wet, your lighter will get wet, and then it doesn't work, so you're mad for the rest of the tournament. Well, this kind of helps with that because, like I said, it is a waterproof bag and it will hold a wallet, a phone, cigarettes, and your keys. So.
Oh, cool.
But the cool thing about Angie's bag, like I said, it's a good gag gift for your buddies who don't catch very big fish, in the 14 by 14 version, but it's also a good cooler. You can definitely fit, 6 or 8 pops in it. We did test it out. You can put 2 of the small crankbait boxes in it, as well as about 20 bags of soft plastics. So it's big enough for a non-boater bag for, if you're fishing the BFL series or something. Big enough to fit plenty of baits where it's not going to get in you or the boater's way. You should be able to fit it into one of the compartments on the boat. Relatively easy.
I used it yesterday as a non-boater bag, and it held quite a bit.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how would somebody find your products?
Well, we've got a Facebook page, Fish Space Her on Facebook, and then we're at www.fishher.com. 2 H's in the middle.
Yep.
And my phone number is on the Facebook page. My phone number is on the website. If there's something that you're interested in, you don't see it on the website, all you got to do is message us and we'll have mock-ups within a couple of days. We take ideas from our customers all the time. We've done, mental health awareness jerseys. We've done ribbon jerseys for childhood cancers, breast cancer awareness jerseys. We actually donated one of our breast cancer awareness jerseys to Pink Fishing last year, and they raffled it at the Bassmaster Classic. We're now doing that on weigh bags, which Bob Prizzi, the guy I talked about earlier, who does my baits, we sent him one because he does a lot with Pink Fishing. And the plan is this year to get one of those weigh bags signed to again donate to Pink Fishing to help, with their cause, because they do a lot for breast cancer awareness. And it's easier for me to donate a product than to say here's $500, because like I said, everything we do right now with the business, all the funds that we make go right back into the business.
Right.
And, we're not charging an astronomical price. Like some of the manufacturers for our jerseys, our men's jerseys are $40 a piece. And that's hooded, full sublimation.
Good price.
We're great price comparatively to, a lot of the other brands that are out there. And the quality's there. If you guys are ever up at Port Clinton, we actually evicted some of their other manufacturers from the wall. And Angie's laughing because she said this. Some of their other manufacturers from their display wall up there, and it's all Fish Her when you walk in the store now. And it's
awesome.
It's really cool. The people that go in there that we met, at the expos, or friends of ours that go up there to fish, that go in and they're like, oh, wow, this is amazing, taking pictures and sending them to us.
Nice.
Can't beat that.
If I look like I'm preoccupied, it's because I'm looking at your website.
Oh, okay.
She's shopping for a bathing suit for Rob.
Yeah.
I'm thinking cheetah print, Rob.
I think I can rock the cheetah print. I think so.
So anyway, you guys had Ashley on last week.
Yes.
And we just, she had placed an order with me about a month ago, and I didn't know who she was, and she had placed an order with me, and then she had reached out, wanted to do some marketing with the brand and stuff, and she told me that she had made it to the All-American.
Yep.
Yes.
We were just astounded. I mean, she is such a sweetheart. So of course, I sent her the things that she ordered, and we sent her a bunch of extra stuff, but she's an amazing girl, and I think she's definitely going places in the industry. So we're happy to have her on our team. We've also got Anna Banks from out in Kansas.
Yep.
We've got Connor here locally. We just we just picked up a kayak angler. Eric Schumann is our kayaker, and we've got Kate Ho. She does instructional classes for lady anglers down on Lake Murray.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I know. I want to get some more Mondays are dedicated to women in fishing. That's actually the title of our show.
I think it's awesome that you guys are doing
and,
that.
Thank you.
If you have any ideas about anyone that you'd like to see on, send us a message.
Yep.
We've had Ashley on a couple times. Carly Jo Prevette, she's a 15-year-old angler from Missouri, I think.
Arkansas, I think. Could be wrong.
Same thing.
Yeah, same area.
You may check in with the little girl from Ohio that just broke the catfish record.
Oh yeah,
Jalen. Yep. We actually have a Jalen jersey coming for her, and it's we put Ohio record breaker on the sleeve, and we did a catfish jersey for her, and then we did matching ones, but in different colors for both of her parents, so they could support their daughter when they were out and about too. But we're getting ready to link up with them. That jersey order should actually be here this week. So,
okay.
But she may be a good one to have on. But I know she's been incredibly busy with media, because it's that record was a pretty long-standing record, and it's just amazing that a 15-year-old girl broke it.
Absolutely.
Yes. Now your tank tops.
Yes.
Are they more of a spaghetti strap or a wider strap? So that
they're
you can
about
cover
inch and a half wide.
Okay, so you can cover a traditional bra strap.
Yes.
You'll be good, Rob.
Okay, good, cool.
Now, I will tell you, if you notice our swimsuits on there, we had a lot of ladies, and I'd stayed away from swimsuits initially, but we'd had a lot of ladies ask about them. With the swimsuits, we did those specifically for lady anglers too. They don't tie at the back of the neck or at the back, because like I can't, if I'm fishing, if I'm in a shirt, these shirts are so comfortable, you don't really have to take them off. But if I decide I want to get a tan or whatever, I'll usually just fish in my bra or sports bra or, whatever for a little bit. But the bikini tops that we designed are actually almost bra strap style tops, to where they don't put all that tension on the back of your neck when you're fishing. Because that was the thing that drove me crazy as an angler. Like I couldn't just wear a standard swimsuit out on the water, because, with tying behind your neck, it puts all that extra tension on your neck all day, gives you a headache, makes your neck hurt. Might just be because I'm old. I don't know. But when we designed the bikinis, we did like bra strap style straps on them, so you don't have that tension to your head and neck throughout the day.
So they're more like a sports bra type fit then?
Yes.
Or athletic shirt?
They're more like an athletic fit, I would say. I mean, they don't cover like a sports bra. You're still going to be able to get sun in them. But like I said, as far as we were looking at comfort for ladies on the water, we weren't looking for anything that was, going to be exposing or not exposing. If you're going to wear a bikini top, you don't really want a full coverage like a sports bra. So we did take, that into play when we were doing the design work on it. But yeah, like I said, we've got the first order of those coming in this week too, and I'm excited to get those in hand. But those also we do in our autism awareness print. My 23-year-old daughter, she was adamant that she had to have one of those. So
sure.
She's got 2 of them coming actually this week.
Nice. Cool. And you got the American flag one coming for Rob.
Is he wanting an American flag? Whatever he wants.
Yeah. See, like 70s look.
I thought we were going with pink cheetah print.
Yeah. Now, quick question, quick fishing question. Miss Angie, what is your go-to if you go out to the lake, never been, what is your go-to confidence bait or technique?
Worm.
Worm, okay. Good choice.
Shaky head. Or Texas.
Yep.
How about you, Tricia?
Well, my husband hates it, but yes, that's my go-to bait has always been an 1/8 ounce shaky head on a Buckeye Lures shaky head 1/8 ounce. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form, but that it just gives it a different action than most manufacturers out there. So I like the Buckeye Lures 1/8 ounce shaky head paired with a 7-inch Zoom green pumpkin trick worm with a little bit of chartreuse spike it marker on the tail, because we don't pour spike it and pinky.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Now, I'm a co-angler. I'm respectful. I carry my spike it in a double zip bag. And when I put it on, I lean over the boat, so it's over the water. I dip the tail in, and then I immediately set it in the water, and then I put the lid on, and then close up, make sure the bag is sealed. And that way you get no.
Oh yeah, it doesn't bother me if other people do that. I just know how sloppy I get when I'm in a hurry. Yep. So I don't use the spike it myself in my boat, other than the markers, just because that's when you're in a hurry and you're trying to get that next cast in.
I carried the markers with me when I fished the Toyota Series and then the BFLs. I always carried the markers with me because I didn't want to take the chance of ever spilling something in somebody's boat.
Yeah,
the markers work good on crankbaits too. I do that on my crankbaits. I'll mark them kind of yellow on the side sometimes.
I'm probably one of the easiest boaters to get along with in the BFL, because I tell my non-boaters, hey, if I tell you to get up here and run the boats, because I got to pee, so get up here and run the boat and just don't look back.
Yep.
They've got full access to my back compartments, or if they need something out the front, I give them baits. I don't care if they smoke. I don't care what they throw. I don't care if they cast forward. Just don't tangle up our lines.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just take it too seriously.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm on the water, even if I'm tournament fishing and I'm fishing for a big pot, I still want to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And I always try to make a friend out of whoever's in the back of my boat.
Absolutely.
Exactly. And that's one of my goals in fishing. And that's the only reason, pretty much the reason why I go. we spend 8 hours a day, 8 to 10 to 14, sometimes 16 hours a day working. If I'm only going to be out for on the weekends, for 8, 9 hours, I want to have fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I don't want to have an argument with the guy that I'm going to be stuck 20 feet away from for 8 hours.
It can be a really long 8 hours.
Yeah, it can.
I mean, that'd be putting you back into your old work position, Tricia.
I fished as a non-boater in the Buckeye Division 1 year, and then I went and bought before I bought Pinky, I had a Crestliner.
Yep.
Okay.
But I graduated from a top out at 42 mile per hour to, I don't know how fast the Phoenix tops out, because it's
41 and a half.
A little quicker.
we know it's at least 72, but she can still go faster than that. I'm just scared to get her that fast.
Yep. Now, John, you almost forgot the most important question of the night.
I didn't forget, but I had a couple other questions first.
Okay, go ahead.
Your dream lakes to go to that you've not been to. This is for both of you, by the way.
Oh my gosh.
I travel so much in the eastern United States. I've seen most of what I want to over here, other than when I was a kid, every time we'd go to the beach and we'd pass Lake Norman.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. And I always said, you know what, one day I want to go there. And the funny thing is in my household, girls didn't fish. I've got a twin sister and we've got 2 brothers. So in my household, it just wasn't something that girls did. My grandparents had a camper up at Lake Erie at Marblehead, and my brothers would go out and fish with Papa, but me and Tara stayed at the camper with Grandma, because girls, it wasn't something girls were supposed to do. So when my husband and I got married, we had 5 kids between us. So if we wanted to go to the movies or to dinner, one or all 5 wanted to go.
Yep.
So we started fishing like a jackpot tournament, just a Monday nighter, I think was the initial tournament, just so he and I could go do something without one or all 5 kids. So as far as dream lakes, like I said, Norman's the one that comes to mind, because even as a child, when we drove down to Myrtle Beach and things, and you'd pass Lake Norman, it just seemed so huge then, but in comparison, that's not as big as Lake Erie or anything, but it's beautiful. The views are breathtaking when you drive. So I would really like to go there.
How about you, Angie?
Probably Sam Rayburn.
Yeah.
I've not been west. Table Rock is as far west as I've been.
Hey, we'll load Pinky up and go.
Hey, you got the invite right there.
All right. So now let's go with the opposite side. A lake that you don't want to go back to.
Can it be a river?
Yep.
A high river.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
Honestly, like I said, we wanted to use the momentum that we had with the brand to keep going this year. But one of the reasons I didn't fish the Buckeye Division was because it went to the Ohio River twice.
Yeah.
And it's just, when you're standing in the check line with 1 or 2 12-inch fish, and there's so many amazing fisheries in Ohio, why do you keep going back there? You're using an Indiana launch to launch 2 Buckeye Division tournaments. It's in one side of the river's Indiana there, the other side's, Kentucky. It's not even in Ohio waters. You can, of course, run to Ohio waters, but when you're, and you can look at the results and things from the past several years on the Buckeye Division.
Yeah, it's
when you look at the results and you've got 2 pounds and you're standing in check line, you're cutting a check for 2 pounds of fish. That's not fishing to me. That's getting by, or trying to get by.
Yeah.
That's called playing the lotto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can be the best angler in the world, and if you're not, and it's never about being on them there, because the fish never really set up in a specific way and they're nomadic. I'm fine with that. I'm fine. I like fishing for smallmouth, and they're the most nomadic fish I believe there is. But there's not a lot of quality fish down there. Not enough to justify the tournaments that they do, out of that area.
Yeah, they do. They do the retread. They do the retread pattern. They run boat ramp to boat ramp, trying to catch retreads.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the secret to getting smallmouth so they're not nomads. It's called gobies.
Yeah.
Because if there's gobies there, the smallmouth will stay.
Yeah.
Plenty of food.
I mean, New York waters are proven for that, because years ago, they, even in the St. Lawrence River, it's probably
I fish Canadian waters for smallmouth, and you probably know where I'm talking about, John. But and yeah, where the smallmouth stayed, there was a very healthy population of gobies, because you'd catch the gobies on your drop shots.
Yes.
Yep.
I actually had a friend rig up made a special hook with a bait on it that he could catch a goby and just let it sit down there, and the smallmouth would eat the goby.
Well, I mean, you're not really fishing with, I don't know. I mean, that's kind of,
and he asked the tournament,
treading the line on fishing with live bait.
Yeah, he asked the tournament director if that was legal, because legally you don't know if it's a goby. I guess you can't say it is, but the tournament director said if you're fishing for live bait to catch a smallmouth, that is illegal.
Yep.
So,
I mean, he could pre-fish that way, I guess, but.
Yep.
But if you're fishing one of the upper series like the Toyota series, you can't, because tournament rules apply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, I did ask somebody fishing the opens. I said, I got a question for you. Are co-anglers allowed to fish the front deck during practice? And the answer they told me was yes. I go, well, then what is the point of having that in the rules during the tournaments if you're allowing them? Because your rules say during official practice days, you must obey the tournament rules.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the tournament rules state the co-angler cannot cast from the front deck.
Yep.
So if you're going to say that for the practice, why aren't you doing it? I mean,
I think it creates confusion if they're doing something different on tournament day than what they've been doing, leading up to tournament day.
And
absolutely.
The Toyotas are the same way, But all right, are you ladies ready for a tough question?
Oh, I don't know. Depends on how tough it is. Give it to Angie if it's tough.
Oh.
It's going to be
got threw under the bus.
Nonsense negotiator.
My wife and I used to host a podcast a couple years ago, and the only question that she would, well, not the only, but the one question she would ask every person that was on it was, what is your favorite homemade cookie?
Chocolate chip with walnuts.
My mom makes whoopie pies. They're almost like a Suzy Q, but taste so much better. They're real soft chocolate cookies, and they've got a whipped icing in it. The only time she makes them for me anymore is my birthday, but I can still at least manipulate her once a year to make them.
Well, this is a first. I think every time we have a couple on, they're always the same cookie.
Oh.
It's either like snickerdoodles or.
Angie's husband packed our snacks for us yesterday, and she was like, "Well, I'll eat the honey bun because I know you don't do the sweets." And that's I don't eat a lot of cookies and stuff. So the whoopie pies, that's my annual treat.
And I get chocolate chip cookies with walnuts.
Angie's constantly eating chocolate or honey buns or something in the seat next to me. And it's not because I diet. It's just when I crave something, it's not usually sweets.
Right.
So my wife usually sends me to a tournament with at least a dozen cookies that are. She uses a 3-inch cookie cutter.
Wow.
Yeah, John's out on the back deck with like a picnic spread. He's got the blanket out. He's got the picnic basket. I can see it. He's got the Grey Poupon out, you know.
See, we're going to have to train Donnie and my husband. I would actually like one of those where they use the taco boxes for the
Yep.
cheese
Yes.
and meat and olives and stuff. We need to train them to do that. That would be my kind of like picnic. And I was calling her Yogi Bear yesterday, so it's funny you said
That means that if we get one of those boxes, that means we have to eat fruit and cheese. And
exactly. See.
Now I'm getting better about that because I used to bring like peanut butter jelly sandwiches, pepperoni, cheese and pickles and cookies and well, now I bring I took out the peanut butter and jelly. I usually bring Swiss cheese is my favorite cheese, so I bring that, a little bit of pepperoni, some dill pickles because they help with cramps. And a dozen or two cookies.
Now, see, the Uncrustables I can do. I've usually got them here in the freezer for my grandkids, so I'll grab a couple of those because those are perfect. They thaw out during the day, and
see, so
I can do peanut butter jelly.
Now I heard that incorrectly. You have Uncrustables in your freezer for you, but you let your grandkids have them every once in a while.
Yeah, they're for the grandkids, but I grab them to put them in the boat. Yeah, my grandkids live next door, so we got to keep
cool.
stockpiled here for them.
So are you in the process of digging an escape tunnel for them to your house?
Oh, absolutely. And see, I had all girls, so my first grandchild, it was a boy, so he's not spoiled at all. I mean, he just
Angie wants to say something.
But then he's got a 2-year-old sister now who's she's rotten. He's a good boy. She is ornery.
She is the boss. She is the boss. That's what it is.
She'll run up to him and slap the hell out of him. She just gives it to him. She's something else.
Firecracker.
She is.
My daughter's the only granddaughter, so there might be a little bit of spoiling there.
Oh yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Yeah, Zane was the only one for 3 years, and then my stepdaughter married a fella who had 2 boys, and then we had Sissy 2 years ago too. So we went from 1 to 4 2 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
And my wife is also a twin with a twin sister.
Does she have an evil twin too?
Is there such thing?
Careful, John. Careful, John. Careful.
Which one's the good twin, John?
So anyways,
that's a loaded question. Changing the subject right there.
Hey,
honestly, my wife is.
Okay.
Yeah. She treats me well. She treats our daughter well. She makes sure we're fed. And when I go away on tournaments, she makes sure I have cookies. And
he wants to keep getting those cookies, Angie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we just got a new mattress today, sleep number mattress. So I wanted to make sure I get that question in there about the cookies, so I get to sleep in it.
They are pretty nice.
So, well, thank you, ladies, for coming on.
Thank you for having us. So you guys.
Oh yes, we'll definitely want. I definitely want to do this again.
Yes.
And just anything we can do to help promote your product, your fishing, your brand, let us know. Rob and I are both here to help. And one of the reasons why we started this podcast is to help people who don't usually get the notoriety.
Or get a voice, Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Everybody's going to look at Kevin Van Dam, Brandon Polinick, all those guys. We turn them down.
Yeah. We get the real heroes.
Yes. No,
we want to get trenches.
We want to get people before they become them. So,
well, even if we do become, big or more renowned, we'll be more than happy to get on here and fuss with you guys another day.
All right.
It's been a lot of fun.
But But yeah, we look forward to seeing where your brand goes and how much higher y'all going to go. But I know y'all got plenty of places, and y'all going to keep on growing. So we're looking forward to watching y'all grow and getting bigger and bigger and have more success.
Hey, and we appreciate the help with marketing. I mean, Angie or I neither one of us have any type of background in marketing or, anything with apparel or anything. This was just something, we saw a need for in the industry. So we've just kind of been winging it, so to speak. So we appreciate, any help that you guys give us, as well as, the viewers. Go on and share, follow us at Fish Her, share the page with your friends, especially the lady anglers that like to fish. Like I said, the guys love our shirts too, but there's so many people competing for those male anglers as far as out there in the industry providing products for them. So that's why when we started, we wanted to focus on the ladies.
Absolutely.
Now, Rob, did you hear that loaded question? Any advice? Now, a smart man would know not to try to give advice to a woman.
Hey, I was trying to roll you back in, man, before you got in trouble.
Hey, I wake up when I'm in trouble, man.
Oh, wow.
So Rob's the nonsense negotiator.
I'm you on this part.
That's why he's over on your side of the screen, Angie.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, that's right. Hey, that's right. We got the same job. Keep these two in line. Lord help us. Yeah, Lord help us.
They did the same thing. They were like,
yeah, I know. It's like, or which way we going? Oh, yeah, that way.
But no, you ladies keep rocking it, and it was a pleasure. And anytime you guys are in New York, I live 15-20 minutes away from Cuba Lake, 45 minutes from Oneida. You're welcome to stay at my place. My wife says the same thing, but don't be surprised if she has some cookies for you.
That's it. As long as she's got some cookies or cheese,
there you go.
Pepperoni, we're good.
Yeah. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate it all, and continued successes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you guys. Have a good night.
You too. Thank you.
All righty.
Ooh, that was fun.
That was. I mean, for what they started a year ago or so, that's amazing. Yeah. And had that many designs already. I mean, that's incredible. I mean, they definitely they found a niche, and definitely. Yeah, Josh had a couple of comments there. One I won't mention, but
great show. Keep it up, Fisher crew. You guys are killing it. And
hey, thanks, Josh. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
All right, so I'm not sure what we're doing tomorrow. I don't have a guest booked, but I think maybe tomorrow we'll talk about our weekend, our tournaments. And
yeah, we both fished. That's right. That's the first time we both had a tournament. So it was challenging, but we'll kind of go over what we did, what we found out. But yeah, it wasn't easy, but we both caught them, so we did all right.
All right. So everybody, take care until tomorrow, and 8:00 tomorrow night. We'll see you then.
Appreciate everybody, and peace out.